Here we go again. Is Maguire doesn't deserve abuse from fans? Yes, Ten Hag has shown his support for Man United defender Harry Maguire. He said, "I have said many times it is disrespectful. He doesn't deserve it. He is a great player, gives great performances. It is crazy, but how it works. Harry has to block this. You see his career, a lot to come. He has to block it by good performances." Elsewhere, Erik ten Hag has confirmed that both Raphael Varane and Mason Mount will be unavailable for this weekend's match. While Erik ten Hag refuses to discuss Sancho. Speaking at his press conference, Erik ten Hag said, "I think everything is said. Again and again." Sancho lined up for Prem switch. Jadon Sancho is reportedly wanted by Nottingham Forest amid his fallout with Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag. According to Manchester Evening News, Sancho is open to a January transfer, and there is no shortage of interest. Nottingham Forest are the latest club to be linked to the 23-year-old. Sancho's former side, Borussia Dortmund, is also rumored to be interested with a potential loan deal being offered. Saudi Arabia side Al-Ettifaq, who are managed by Steven Gerrard, made a late move for Sancho in the summer transfer window but ran out of time to complete a deal. While Ten Hag accused of acting like a teacher. Erik ten Hag has been told to stop acting like a school teacher over his punishment of Jadon Sancho by Gabby Agbonlahor. Speaking on TalkSport, the former striker said, "If you look at Ten Hag, what he has done since he has come to Manchester United is very good. He has got the disciplinary issues right. But with this one, why can't you sit done with him? Stop acting like a school teacher. He is acting a bit like my school teacher." Former Aston Villa striker Gabby Agbonlahor has criticized Man United for their treatment of Jadon Sancho. Speaking on TalkSport, he said, "You look at Jadon Sancho as an asset, 23 years old, bought for £73 million 2 years ago. How much is he worth now? Is it worth being sent to train by himself? He is depreciating daily. Get someone higher above, like the chief executive, to sit down with the manager and him and sort it out." Manchester United now are not blessed with many wingers. Anthony is now out, and Greenwood is gone. I think the disciplinary issue is that Sancho has probably been told that he has to apologize, and that he kept his tweet up for 7 to 8 days and didn't bring it down. On the other side, West Ham striker Michael Antonio has defended out-of-favor Man United defender Harry Maguire. He explained, "I remember one game last season. The ball has been kicked into his face and gone into the net, and people have gone, there's nothing you can actually do in that situation. People do forget that people are human and it's going to affect them mentally." He went from being an unbelievable center-half, I think one of the best in the Premier League when he was at Hull and Leicester, one of the best 100%, to half of a man. He's half of a man now. That's how I would describe it. He is half of a man now. He's trying to stay strong, to rebuild himself. He believes in his ability. Right now, it's just not working for him. Meanwhile, Michail Antonio has launched a staunch defense of Harry Maguire after criticism he faced in the wake of England's 3-1 win over Scotland. Speaking on his BBC Footballers Football podcast, the 33-year-old said, "It's the criticism gone way, way, way too far. It's actually embarrassing. I've never seen this ever in football ever, that one person can be absolutely destroyed. Anytime he does anything wrong, it could not be his fault, but he could just be involved in it, and it's his fault." On the other side, Jadon Sancho has arrived at Manchester United's training ground following his banishment from the first team. The England international found himself embroiled in a spat with Erik ten Hag earlier this month after his gaffer publicly criticized his effort in training after United's 3-1 defeat to Arsenal. Ten Hag hasn't taken Sancho's actions lightly, banishing him from the first team and forcing him to train alone. And the former Borussia Dortmund man's face was hidden as he arrived to train solo at United's Carrington this morning. Elsewhere, former Manchester United star Dimitar Berbatov has claimed that legendary manager Sir Alex Ferguson would have sold Jadon Sancho by now amid his ongoing feud with Erik ten Hag. Berbatov told Betfair, "Had Jadon Sancho done this when Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager, then he would have been out, because no one is bigger than the team. Ten Hag has shown that he can be strong when he needs to be, like in the case with Ronaldo. This manager stands his ground. He knows what he wants and can sacrifice big stars. again and again. Jadon Sancho has refused to apologize to Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag following his Twitter outburst, according to reports. Sancho and his manager Ten Hag have been in a war of words since the England star claimed he was being used as a scapegoat after Ten Hag left him out of the matchday squad for United's 3-1 loss to Arsenal. Elsewhere, there is growing hope that former Fiorentina star Sofyan Amrabat will make his United debut this Saturday against Brighton. Meanwhile, the Red Devils are eyeing up a move for Napoli winger Ivica Kvaratskhelia, according to reports. Berbatov's comments on Sancho's saga, former Manchester United star Dimitar Berbatov had told Jadon Sancho he should have stayed quiet in his row with Erik ten Hag. That's because former Red Devils boss Sir Alex Ferguson would have sold him by now. Sancho faces an uncertain future at United following his incredible public spat with manager Ten Hag. He claimed he had been made a scapegoat after being ditched from the 3-1 defeat at Arsenal. And on Thursday, United released a statement revealing they were taking disciplinary action by making Sancho train away from the senior squad. Sancho to train alone until a resolution is found. The Telegraph report that Jadon Sancho has refused to back down on his comments concerning Erik ten Hag. The winger said he was made a scapegoat by Ten Hag after being left out of the squad for their 3-1 defeat to Arsenal. Erik ten Hag demanded that the winger apologize ahead of the possibility of bringing him back into the fold. But at showdown talks, Sancho refused to apologize for his comments and is refusing to back down. The winger will now train alone until the situation is either resolved or he is sold in January. Ten Hag has full support of board, Erik. Ten Hag has the full backing of the United board over his Jadon Sancho stance. The Daily Mail report that Ten Hag demanded an apology from Sancho during their crunch talks this week. Sancho, however, refused to back down and has now been made to train on his own by the club. Hope that Amrabat will play on Saturday. There is growing hope that Sofyan Amrabat will make his United debut on Saturday against Brighton. United found an issue with Amrabat's back during his medical, but it was not thought to be a significant enough issue to affect the signing. He did, however, pull out of the Morocco international squad, which led to speculation that he may miss Saturday's match with Brighton. Again and again. Man United injury news and expected return dates, including Luke Shaw and Mason Mount. Manchester United host Brighton in the Premier League on Saturday, with Erik ten Hag's men out to bounce back after taking just 6 points from their first 4 games. Manchester United are already under pressure after a dicey start to Premier League season, so Erik ten Hag could have done without any further headaches arising from the international break. Instead, Harry Maguire was thrust back into the spotlight for the wrong reasons following his own goal against Scotland. Winger Anthony, meanwhile, was stood down from the Brazil squad, and then by his club, as he deals with allegations of domestic violence. He will be unavailable for Saturday's clash against Brighton, where United will want to build on a total of 6 points from 4 games. Ten Hag also has a number of players ruled out with injury, whilst others look touch and go. The Dutch boss will be desperate, therefore, that all his stars who reported for international duty return fit and healthy this week. Especially given that following the trip to Brighton, United returned to the Champions League on Tuesday with a trip to Bayern Munich. Here is a rundown of the state of play concerning United's injured stars.